Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a breakdown of the most recent Agatha All Along episode that came out yesterday, and sorry for not coming back to it yesterday. I was a little bit busy, but today is the sort of breakdown. This is the first time I'm doing this. The breakdown kind of theories, maybe not, I don't know. Theories, breakdown, and how I overall think about this show. I haven't talked about episode 1, 2, 3 yet because I don't know, I just didn't really have the time. However, I feel like this is the right time to do it, as really it's like the middle part of the season, stuff is trying to ramp up, and yeah, I just feel like it's probably the best time to talk about the show. And yeah, I feel like after episode 1, 2, 3, and especially number 4, it sets up the show quite nicely, actually, which Marvel shows of recent years, or even at all, haven't really got along well with just setting up each episode, and they've just struggled a lot, actually. And I know that's like cliche, like, oh, everyone talks about that, but it's just true. Everyone is in opinion, in agreement at how dodgy these shows are, because they're a bit dodgy, they're a bit lackluster, in which what we weren't really promised. However, today's video is about the most recent episode 4, that came out just the other day. Now, I've got a first little thing about it, and that was about at the start at how Shannon is actually dead for definitively, just like it's so obvious that she's dead. I know people probably like her, but like she's dead, guys. She's definitely dead. There's no going back now, in my opinion. She's just dead. And like, in a way that kind of worked. It did. Like, it's just a bit like episode 3, you die. I understand why that works, however, because of the fact that, in a way, it kind of builds a new bond, because it's like a new team in a way with the new Green Witch that I'll come on to shortly. But it's a little bit different because, like, the coven was there, but now we've got a new coven, which is, quite interesting to talk about. Now, the new Green Witch was Rhea, obviously, and why was she in Witch's Road the whole time? We don't really know. We don't really know about that. However, of course, the theories was that she was meant to be potentially Emerald Warlock, potentially just gender swapped, but being like the Green Witch and like getting stuff from Earth and the power from the Earth and stuff like that is very interesting, and I kind of like that, like, power set in a way. That's kind of interesting. I kind of find that to be quite cool. I just think that her inclusion is very nice, and I feel like it's a good replacement. I think that she's a very interesting character. She's probably one of the more interesting characters in the show as a whole, which I like, because recently, Marvel shows struggle with interesting plot lines, yes, but they also struggle with interesting characters, and she's a very interesting character, as some of the characters are, actually, and it's building up quite well, and it's very underrated. Like, the stats for this show aren't particularly amazing, but realistically, they didn't really need that. They just needed a good fan base, or needed just a good amount of people watching it, because it's actually not bad. But sorry, I was just backtracking. But genuinely, interesting character. I think she could be potentially, I've seen people say that she's potentially like Lady Death in a way, which could be a very interesting plotline, considering as the project's coming up soon and ramping up to Secret Wars and Doomsday. Now, I think that just the fact that she could be Emerald Warlock is very interesting, and it's a good character, and I feel like overall she's in a way she's better than Shannon, definitely, because of the fact that she's more interesting, in my opinion. She's just so much more interesting, so much more compelling, and yeah, very interesting. And the fact that she had to join the coven after that spell will probably be shown later on in the show, maybe episode 5, episode 6, but I just find it to be very, very interesting. And one also thing I want to talk about is how the trial, this episode, the second trial for Witch's Road, seemed more interesting. But it also seemed more straightforward in how they got there. Now, of course, it was about like poison and stuff like that. Now, that seems more straightforward than the last trial. Now, doesn't mean that it was harder overall, I don't know, but like the trials seem to be more straightforward this time, in my opinion. I know that's just a little bit of a short thing. I just wanted to like say that it just seemed more straightforward, and just for the characters to progress through the story into episode 5 in a way. I think it was just more of like we've got to chuck it in, we've got to chuck in the trial. But yeah, it was very interesting, and very interesting how they got out of it. We also got told about the loss of Agatha's son years ago. Now, the reason why he died, we haven't been told yet, but in my opinion, it's definitely got to be due to the Darkhold, because remember in WandaVision how, in a way, she was corrupted, like how Wanda was corrupted, and you could probably make a slight case for how Agatha, lost her son, with Wanda trying to find her children in Multiverse of Madness. Maybe there's a link there. I don't know. But there could be a link there. That could be quite interesting to think about. Potentially, Agatha here, maybe losing her son before the Darkhold, maybe losing her son after the Darkhold. And realistically, we're starting to see the repercussions of using it, which we didn't really get beforehand. However, the repercussions clearly are that you get corrupted, or something happens, and learning this dark magic clearly has these repercussions that could lead to death, sadness, all that sort of negative emotions that build up, and we clearly saw that in Multiverse Madness, and we're clearly seeing that here with the loss of her son, which is interesting, which we haven't been given in Marvel shows before. And I just think the fact that we are seeing this little build-up gives you hope in a way for the Marvel television brand as well, because the loss of the son wasn't really given in Secret Invasion. Like, I know there wasn't meant to be a loss of a son or something like that, but like a loss of a main character, like a main something that has oomph to it, wasn't really given. We've given a oomph to a character we didn't even know about dying. Just shows how this show in a way is very underrated, not overrated, underrated, sorry. We also, like I was talking about earlier, we've got a new coven, of course, with the new Green Witch trio, and just, in my opinion, just Emerald Warlock, but still. But yeah, new coven, of course. I like the team. I think the team's alright, actually. I think it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's actually a good little team. And yeah, I think that all the acting's good. I thought that it was a good episode, of course, but I just thought that overall it was good. And you get to really pick it out, and you get to pick out the theories. You get to fish it all out, and it's actually quite interesting. Now, I want to talk about as well, because I haven't talked about this show before, I also want to talk about how it works with WandaVision as well, because of course it directly links to it. And like, I was thinking to myself about it, how WandaVision was their first show, and it was, in my opinion, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And maybe at the end it was like tailed off a little bit, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, what I really like about this show that may not people like about it, right, is how I really enjoy how it feels like it again. It feels like WandaVision, right? And it takes itself seriously. It's not like doesn't take itself unseriously. It's actually a serious show, and that's what I like about it. Like that's like really nice about it. It's very serious. Like WandaVision was serious. But the problem is, right, WandaVision is more or less like at the top end of the shows because it was the first one. This feels a lot like WandaVision, and Loki's the best one, right? And then you got like the other ones that aren't pretty good, right? And you put it you put this like near the top, but people put this at the bottom because, you know, we've had, you know, not great projects after WandaVision. So in a way, it just means that it just has dragged it down, which isn't nice, which isn't good. After what I've seen, I'm very looking forward to episode 5, in my opinion. Like, this is going well for them. This is all right. It's working. It's good. The acting is good. Episodes are good. Episodes are enjoyable. And yeah, looking forward to episode 5. If you want a breakdown, a talk, a review, something like this I've made, please put it in the comments. And I can't believe I've gained 2 new subscribers last episode I made. Thank you very much to whoever you are. And if you'd like to join these new people in this thing I'm making, please do so here. And if you'd like to watch a most recent video I've made, you can do so here. This video is about the Thunderbolts and how it's actually not about a trailer. And yes, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, potentially next week. Of course it'll be next week, but like, yeah. Thank you very much, and yeah, bye.